Hi fellow travelers, this tour is the Romney Hill and Timothy Hill Lookout excursion on St. Kitts.
Also known as St.
Enjoy!
Kitts and Nevis. St. Christopher is the official name for the island. St. Kitts is more of a alias nickname, but of course that's how most persons know the island. Most photograph monuments here in Bastille. That of course is the Berkeley Memorial. Monument has been there since 1883 after the passing of Thomas Hartman Berkeley. He was a legislator on the island, and so the monument there to honor him. Of course it needs some much needed renovation work, and of course during Carnival, which was in December, they did some defacing there. Persons got a little too excited with their paints. The Immaculate Conception Cathedral, we just said the Catholic Church. Behind of the Catholic Church is also a private Catholic school. So of course, education high on our agenda here. So both public, private schools throughout the island. Here is Treasury Chambers, and where that beautiful flag is flowing there, that is our government headquarters. So that is where you'll find the office of the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Dew. That is also where our parliament is housed. So we have a small parliament. On our left here, this is our bus terminal. Catch these privately owned and operated buses. Takes you into the countryside of the island. There is no public market. Usually comes alive on Saturdays. This is where the farmers come sell their locally grown produce here. It's very busy on Saturdays. Most persons do their market shopping on Saturday court or the High Court. So this is where you go before the judge and jury, or judge if you're up to. On this afternoon from about 5 or so, this area will be filled with those guys. Most of them now out foraging for food, and they are very clever. Those are some cactus-like trees, so that they're resting, the predators cannot get to them, so the monkeys and the rats cannot disturb them. Out of the US, Canada, studying here on the island. Not an ideal place to study actually. In fact, recently, about 2 years or so, they had to impose restrictions on the students. Lots of the students were failing, and so put some measures in place to curtail their partying. Of course, this island, one of the early inhabitants here were the Kalinagos. Kalinagos were Amerindians that migrated here initially from South America. When the Kalinagos lived here, they called the island Layamiga. Layamiga means fertile land. And of course, as you gaze around, you'll see lush green vegetation here. So here very rich from the past volcanic activities here. It actually tells a story. It tells the beginning of the Kalinagos, and then when the Europeans arrived here on the island, and then the drawing of the female by the tree, that's when she was listening to Chief Tegraman and his council, and she went back and told the captain of the plot. And so the night before the massacre of the Kalinagos, it is said Chief Tegraman was killed, and then the following days when the massacre occurred. Coincidentally, this tree on our right, this is actually a mahogany tree, believed to be around 500 years old. That is the speculation. Flowed with blood for 3 days and 3 nights. And so it is called Bloody Point. Some say Bloody Point River. It is actually a river. It is dammed some distance above, provides water source. And so only during heavy downpours you'll see the water flowing down. In fact, when it gets going, we won't even be able to pass this very area of sea level. Saturday. this very area. This was known as the Amorandian village. So this is where the Kalinagos lived. And then of course the area where we're going to was the base camp for Chief Tegraman. You'll feed the fire from the tunnel under here, so this is the firing tunnel. So whoever had that job to go in there and keep that fire burning, oh, you can imagine the heat that came out of that area. They now use the facility here to display one of the locally made rums here. This one is called the Old Road Rum. Which indicates we desperately need some rainfall. They look lost. Oops. It's a bit bumpy, of course, we cannot pave this area. Brought here by the Kalinagos, like most of the trees, flowers here on the property, brought here from various places around the world. Trees, the mangoes, centuries ago now called St. It's their home. Here on the property, you'll get an opportunity to walk about the property, take in the sights. You enter the facility from the rear of the building.
Why the area we use a normal paintbrush. The wax goes right to the fabric, so the design is on both sides of the fabric. We now remove the fabric off the frame and we dip this blue piece into a cold watercolor canvas. Yes, it's the palm leaf. Yes, the palm leaf.
Daily services out of Miami on American Airlines, JetBlue, Delta, United, all services in the island. So we have direct flights from Charlotte, Atlanta, Newark, JFK. And of course you will be able to see shortly where most of the visitors stay when they come to the island. Airport. Robert Roger was the first premier of the island, considered the father of the island. He is also our very first national hero. We turn here. That is the largest hotel here on St. Kitts. That of course is the St. Kitts Marriott Resort and Casino. Our lovely 18-hole golf course there also. Yeah, I'm faithful to KFC, so I'm not going to churches. I'm sticking with KFC. About 20 and so if you're gonna take a photo, tell me.
Keep going, keep going.
was a beautiful excursion on St. Kitts. If you're interested in booking your princess cruise, give me a call at my contact information shown here. Thank you.